Two people tell you within days of each other that Devin Haney's career is over and that he is a shot fighter. This ahead of the Regis Prograis versus Jack Cottrell fight coming up today on DAZN. Oscar De La Hoya speaks out and Regis Prograis speaks out. We're going to analyze that and discuss it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where we've got a fight coming up this week and today, actually, and that is a fight between Regis Prograis from New Orleans, Louisiana, and Jack Cottrell from the UK. I do not believe that a belt is on the line for this particular fight. However, it is definitely a crossroads fight for Regis Prograis and Jack Cottrell. But interestingly enough, the topic that came up in an interview with Regis was Devin the Dream Haney. And he said something that was was very, very similar to something that Oscar De La Hoya said about Devin Haney, and something that people really should be concerned about because, like Regis Prograis and like Jack Cottrell, Devin Haney's at a crossroads. And these people are saying this guy could be shot. And that would be amazing to have a guy become shot after such a big win against Regis Prograis. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you really like the channel, you can support in the super thanks, which is a little $ next to the comments you can leave. It's the best way to sponsor videos like this. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And yeah, some people are not going to like it, but I'm going to back it up with historical evidence to support my premise that Oscar De La Hoya and Regis Prograis will be right about Devin Haney if Devin Haney does not accept the defeat to Ryan Garcia in a real way. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's first by talking about what a shot fighter is and what Oscar De La Hoya said. Oscar De La Hoya, the Hall of Fame fighter, one of the best welterweights for sure in the last 40 years. One of the biggest draws in boxing in the history of boxing, really. But a jackass is a person outside the ring. But the man knows his boxing. He really, really does, obviously. He said about Devin Haney, and obviously, he's got a horse in the race because he promotes Ryan Garcia, and he doesn't like Bill, and Oscar's a jerk. But he says that he doesn't know whether or not Ryan Garcia is going to fight Devin Haney again because he said Devin Haney is a shot fighter. Look at how he was reacting. Look at how he was basically just called him a shot fighter and said, I don't know if he's going to recover from that because he got beat so bad. Then you had Regis Prograis when he's talking about Jack Cottrell and talking about Devin Haney saying, hey, man, I don't know what's going to happen with Devin Haney, man. Devin took a lot of beating. He took a really, really bad beating in that fight. And I don't know whether or not Devin Haney is going to come back and be as good a fighter as he was. Some people can come back from that. Other people really can't come back from that. Some people have got the resilience to come back from a knockout loss. Other people, it could change you. You could be a different person. So it's very much a crossroads for Devin Haney. You see that he dropped the WBC belt. He wasn't mentally right to continue to move on and defend that belt, something that he said himself. You see him suing people and trying to collect checks for things that, man, most people in boxing cannot understand. So it doesn't really look like his mind is in the right place. So going into a fight the next fight with somebody that is looking at him like, yeah, we don't think his mind is in the right place. Also looking like he's very, very beatable because of how bad the fight with Ryan Garcia looked. Man, you may wind up seeing Devin Haney, really, really being in a bad position when he comes back because of his mental. If you've ever worked in an area or worked in a job, man, when you get burnout or when you get a major failure, sometimes, man, people sit down and they just don't feel like they ever want to make themselves vulnerable to that loss again. So they don't really get their expectations as high. They don't work as high because they feel like they're really not what they thought they were, even though they talk like it, walk like it, and to people that are listening to them who really don't know what the inner workings of their mind. So it's going to be interesting to see Devin Haney and what Devin Haney does next. But I'm going to tell you that in order for him to really improve, he's going to have to accept the mistakes that he made. That camp is really and truly going to have to accept the mistakes that they made and not accept the excuses that are given to them by themselves and by other people. Now, you can act in public like it doesn't matter. You can say in public, he cheated me, he cheated me, he cheated me, right? And it wasn't right, it wasn't right, it wasn't right. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's none of my fault. You can say all that in public, but if you say that when you're training, man, the next guy is going to beat you because you're not accepting that there's anything that you could have done differently to overcome that situation. But that's probably not the case, seeing as there's a guy that knocked out Ryan Garcia 2 fights before that, named Gervonta Davis. And the likelihood of if Ryan Garcia was a dedicated, purposeful, intentional cheater with Devin, the likelihood that he would not have done that with Gervonta Davis is slim to none because Gervonta Davis is so much more dangerous than Devin Haney is. Right? So, in the end of the day, I don't know whether or not Regis Prograis is right or not. I don't know. And I don't know whether Oscar De La Hoya is right or not. I don't know. But I know that Devin is surrounded by an entire cadre of excuse makers, multiple YouTube channels that will blow smoke up his behind 24 hours a day on repeat. Everything Devin does is great, and everything everybody else does is bad. That's the environment that Devin was raised in as a boxer. He's raised under that. I suspect that's what he thinks is real, but it ain't real. Those dudes are blowing smoke up your backside, so they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. But if it ain't real when you get in that ring against somebody like, let's say, Teofimo Lopez, or you get in there with Gervonta, or you get in there with somebody like, man, who knows, Jaron Ennis, man, all those excuses those YouTube channels make for you, it's not going to help you. And that lack of confidence the first time that you get hit upside the head with a left hook, man, them nightmares are going to come right back screaming into your head. Man, excuses are tools for competence. Excuses are tools of incompetence used by men to build monuments of nothingness. And unless Devin stops doing it, I think that Oscar De La Hoya and Regis Prograis are more than likely going to wind up being right. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, deuces.